All right, so we will be discussing from chapters 6 and 8 our thoughts on organizational cultures, what type of culture we have experienced in the workplace and how we felt about it, whether it was positive, negative, engaging, etc. And if we believe that leaders can shape the culture. Does anybody want to start off discussing the Zappos video?
Yeah, I can start. So I do believe that leaders can shape the culture. When I watched the Zappos video, I really liked it. It was cool, and it reminded me of another video you guys should watch. It's called Fish Philosophy or something. They also have like a real cool like culture in their company, like where they're just like making fish and selling fish, but they're like throwing the fish around and they're like having fun with it. It's really cool. And it's kind of similar to this where they decorated all their offices and like it was fun. But I have a short story. So I don't know, like, because I'm on the swimming team. So 2 years ago, Ray Anderson, he is like the president of all the athletic departments. He fired like all the coaches of the swimming team, and it was like a huge deal because like we didn't have any coach, so it was like really bad. But he really believes that he wants to make like all athletics at ASU to be like in top 10 like in the nation. And he actually hired Bob Bowman, who is the coach of Michael Phelps. So this is his second year here. So he really wanted to do something big, and he did it. And now Bob, he last year he like kicked off 13 swimmers of the team because he thought they were like negative, and he wants positive influence on the team. So like Bob as a leader and Ray Anderson as a leader, they both have like they want to do like big things, and they like are really changing the culture. So I think it's kind of cool to like witness all this and like be a part of it. So yeah, I wanted to tell you.
That's really cool. So
yeah, to be a part of something that like the foundation is changing. I think that is really cool.
Yeah, especially when you're a part of something from the beginning. So I've worked for my company for 10 years. And in that 10-year time, like we've gone from being a public company to a private company, and the culture here has changed drastically. So when I started 10 years ago, the culture was all about caring. And so everything was about everybody feeling warm and fuzzy. Like there are literally people that walked around and would say like Happy Monday. Like how many people do you know say Happy Monday? And so everything was about warm and fuzzy and making everybody happy. Well, at some point you realize that making everybody happy doesn't necessarily make money because we're a retailer. And so when we went private, the culture went from warm and fuzzy to more like hit the ground running, figure out how to make money, make mistakes, make them fast. And now the main thing isn't caring, it's do the right thing. Like do the right thing at any cost, no matter how much work it takes. So that our main focus now is making money. Yeah, we of course still care about pet parents and pets and stuff, but the culture has drastically changed from making us all happy every day to making sure that we actually focus on being strategic and doing our job. So there was like a really negative period in the middle when we made the transition from public to private because there were layoffs. And so it was almost like doomsday every time you came into work because you didn't know if you were going to have a job the next day. And now like a year and a half later, it's, you know, everybody's becoming accustomed to this new fast paced culture where you're allowed to make mistakes as long as you make them quickly, and doing the right thing. So we still care, but it's not like the main overarching thing. Like you can't put your feelings before the things that are going to make money, basically. So like I've gone from caring, warm and fuzzy, to like being scared every day when you come to work, to now being like, okay, everything's fast paced, move quickly, do it right. So like over this 10-year process, the culture here in this one company has changed so many times. It's probably going to change again because we're going to go public again eventually.
Yeah, that's crazy. My job went through like a big like change too. So like before, like for our training, like they would literally like make you train all in one day and learn everything about Nike. And like now they changed the entire like hiring training, and like all the employees had to do a new training. So we did like DNA, which stands for like developing Nike athletes, and they have us like practicing our service ethos to consumers. So like there's like 5 things that we have to follow to like make it personal with our consumers, and then we also have to like sell like really well, and we always want to get like, you know, like online sales in store, and like we have to use like our iPods to check people out instead of like cash registers. And like it's just crazy like how much of a big shift it was for us, because everyone that was there like for 3 years before, like they had never had to like do like this kind of work, and it was really like a big change for us, but like I think it like helped us like in the long run.
I think it's interesting because for the most part, we all experience the change on like a customer level, but Lana experiences it kind of, like, would you say corporate level?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's interesting because like the change kind of starts at Lana's corporate level, and then it gets down to us who deal with it as the consumer. And I haven't worked in like a retail environment in a very long time, so like the sell aspect hasn't been true for me. However, I work in a restaurant, and our thing at our restaurant level is keep it real. And so like keep it real with your guests, keep it real with your managers, keep it real with everybody around you. Like work hard, have fun, but like keep it real. If I don't think you're doing a good job, like your money affects my money. So we have this kind of like call out culture, which is a good thing. However, when you're new to it, like you really need to develop your thick skin, because if somebody doesn't like the way you're talking to tables, if somebody doesn't like the way you're rolling silverware, they're gonna tell you. But wait, there was something else. But just our thing is we make it, it's not so much what we're selling, it's how we sell it. So, you know, I work at Postino. People can get wine and bruschetta anywhere, but it's like, why do they come to us? And I think it's the culture that our managers have created of like this hardworking but fun, cool environment.
That's exactly. Oh,
go ahead.
That's exactly how Topgolf is. Like everybody could go golf, everybody could go eat afterwards. Like there's a reason you go like to a place where the clubs aren't standard size, the balls are rigged so they don't fly over the nets and hit the casino. Like there's a reason you go and you get all those, how do you say that, like handicaps? No, things that hold you back, whatever. And you go for the experience at our work. And our training, like this is a side note, our training process is 5 days, and it's like 2 to 3 hours every day. And like each day has a certain topic. Like there's with our core values, one day is caring, another day is excellence, another day is one team. Like that's not my job at my work. But for me, I think that's an excuse to pawn stuff off. Like, to be honest.
That's really big at my restaurant too. Like to say that's not my job. It's like, well, let me and 3 other people tell you how it is your job.
Yeah, like you can't say that is not my job, or else you'll literally get written up.
Yeah, that's here too. It's like a part of the do the right thing. Like our key value is do the right thing, and it's regardless of whether or not it's your job. You don't say that. You say, well, like, I don't have that information, or I don't know a lot about that topic, but let me find somebody who does. Like you have to at least make an effort to help find that information with the person. You can't just be like, oh, I don't do that, or I can't help you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did think it was interesting just comparing it to the Zappos video. I think that we all kind of have a little bit more like of a rigorous schedule, whether it be with like our sport or our job or our career. And in the Zappos video, it was definitely a lot more laid back, to the point where even like the CEO was like, yeah, it kind of seems like a lot of work doesn't get done here, which I thought was like kind of a weird thing to say. But it's the fact that he's able to like motivate people like towards his goal, towards his mission, that even if they're not sitting there for like 8 hours a day staring at a computer screen, he still knows that they're like getting their job done. And that reminded me of something just kind of like recently in the world. Somewhere in like the Nordic region, they decreased the average workday from 8 hours to 6 hours, because they said that people could have a more productive 6 hours than 8 hours. 8 hours, you wind up having like an hour lunch break. You kind of lag throughout the day. You hit like that 3 or 4 o'clock time and get tired and your productivity goes down. So I thought that was like an interesting culture that a whole country was assimilating to. Was, you know, let's be more power packed in the time that we do have rather than like lackadaisical overtime.
Yeah, that makes sense. Like, have you ever had like a day where you have half day because you're going on vacation or something, and so you find a way to get everything you would have done in a whole day done in a half day because you know
Yeah.
you have a limited amount of time.
Um, Even just like on a restaurant level, when it's like, Jacqueline, you're going to go home. And it's like, all right, well, if I know I have to do this, this, and this, and then I can go home, I'm going to take 10 minutes to do all of those things and really, really kick it out because I want to go home.
Exactly.
Does anybody have any personal experience of a culture that was created by like a specific leader?
Well, at my, like, I've said this like multiple times, but like we have that apparel group thing. So one of the like things that we do, it's like a group of like 5 or 6 of us, and just like we always like, you know, fill each other in on like what we did that day or like what needs to be done. We have like a 4-month calendar, and we write like all of like visits or events that are happening on the weekend or like things that need to be done like every single day, and we have our names on it, and like we have literally all the tools we need to do our job basically. So we have like sales goals, sales like activity and markdowns and what's in like our store, what's coming in the next week. We have like everything. So our manager, Julie, she like created that whole board, and she got the calendar, and she would write everyone's names on it, and then we would all like go to it every time we like come in to work. We go to the board, and then we see like what's going on, and then we catch up with each one of the people in our group, and we you know, and we all have like our own like type of language, I guess, like all of our like different words that we say and like the different like meanings that we have behind them. So like we fill each other in on like what we did, what needs to be done, and like if we need help with something, and we always just like fill each other in, and so we're all on the same page like all the time.
Yeah, I think my personal experience with a leader who really defined a culture was while we were in layoffs here, my director was very transparent with us, and he made sure he shared as much information as he could with us. And even as people were getting laid off and we had less people but more work, he would literally come in and do like our work, which wasn't something he would do on a normal basis. So it helped to boost morale. And although company-wide the culture was like really scary and everybody was walking on eggshells, for our little team in our bubble, he made our like subculture feel a lot more comfortable because he was honest, so we knew what was coming, like what was coming down the pipeline, and then he was there to help, which made us feel like he actually cared about the team and what we were doing. So just in those actions, he helped create like a positive subculture, even though we were surrounded by like a negative culture.
Yeah, and it's funny because just looking at the textbook, it says like reactions to critical incidents, and that kind of sounds like exactly what you're going through. Like when the company changes, like how do the leaders step up to make the followers like feel more comfortable? We are at 12 minutes. Did anybody have anything else they wanted to add? All right, I think we had a well-rounded discussion. I'm going to stop the broadcast.